Space was silent. It had been silent for a long, long time. In the far edge of the galaxy, where no star shined and no signal reached, a massive object floated through the darkness. It was shaped like a ship, but no lights blinked on its hull. No engines burned. No sound came from within. It had been asleep for thousands of years, maybe more. And then a voice came. "Hello? This is Lieutenant Mara Lin of the human vessel Curiosity. Is anyone out there?" The voice was soft, calm. It was meant for nothing. Just a routine message. Mara didn't expect an answer. The crew of Curiosity was only exploring a dead zone, quiet part of the galaxy. No signs of life, no history, just darkness. But the old ship, silent for millennia, heard that voice. A flicker. A spark inside the ancient vessel. A single red light blinked. A tiny glow in the darkness. Then one by one, systems began to stir. Slow, heavy, like an old giant waking from a deep sleep. It scanned the area, searching for the source of the VOICEHUMAN, female. Command tone detected. The ship's memory was damaged, broken in many places, but it still had its core. It still remembered the war. It still remembered its creators. And now it had heard something familiar. Mara Lin leaned back in her seat, sipping from a metal cup. She stared at the black void. Outside her ship's window, another dead sector, she said. Not even rocks out here. Her co-pilot, Genzo, smirked. Maybe we'll find a lost treasure, or a ghost ship, right? Mara laughed.
Ow.
With gold bars and alien skeletons. Curiosity was a small exploration ship, old but reliable, sent by the United Earth Navy to explore unknown zones. This sector was called Grid Z57. No records, no signals, no ships. It was like space itself had forgotten this place, but something was watching them. High above Curiosity, hidden in the shadows of a dark asteroid, the ancient ship rotated slowly. Its long body was scarred. Its metal was black like burnt stone. There were no markings, no windows, no known technology. It did not belong to any species known in the modern galaxy. It had no name anymore. But in its own system logs, it once had a title: Orion. Strategic Guardian Class. Purpose: Last Defense. And it had just woken up. Back on Curiosity, a light on the panel blinked. Mara frowned. "What's that?" "We've got some kind of energy reading." Genzo leaned forward. "That can't be right. Nothing's supposed to be out here." The screen showed a faint signal. Very faint but real. It was pulsing like a heartbeat. Mara whispered, "Is it a ship?" "No registry. No ID. It's not broadcasting any code."
Can we get a visual?
The outside cameras turned at first. They saw only darkness. And then shape appeared, enormous, black, floating with no movement, no lights. Just the faint outline of something massive like a sleeping beast in the void. Genzo's voice dropped. "What the hell is that?" Mara didn't answer. She was staring at it. Something about it made her chest tighten. It wasn't just big, it felt ancient. It's like it had been waiting. "Try to scan it," she said. "I already did," Genzo replied. The scanner bounced back, like it's blocking us. Suddenly, Curiosity's lights flickered. "Power dip," Genzo shouted. "Engine stable," Mara asked. "Yes, but something just pinged us. We're being scanned. By what?" They both looked at the dark ship again. Then came a sound, soft, deep, like a whisper echoing across metal. A voice old, broken spoke inside their ship's comm system. "Heard? COMMAND human. Voice accepted. ... Mara's hands froze. Her eyes widened. "Did you hear that?" she whispered. Genzio nodded slowly, pale. They hadn't sent a message. The ship had answered them, far across the stars in a secret alien. Listening post, alarms began to scream. The alien commander, a tall, scaled creature named Veldon, watched the reports with shaking claws. "It is activated," his officer said. The silent vessel, the human voice. "Woke it," Veldon's eyes narrowed. "No," he growled. The last time that ship moved, stars burned. Back near grid Z57, the Orion's engines hummed once. Not to move, not yet, but to breathe. For the first time in thousands of years, it had purpose again, and it had heard its new command. The ancient ship was no longer sleeping. Its lights glowed. Reddit's systems, slow and rusty, came back online. Energy flowed through its core like blood returning to frozen veins. The engines didn't roar, but they hummed, low and deep, like the breath of something alive. Inside, machines began to move. Walls shifted. Doors unlocked themselves. The ship wasn't just waking up. It was remembering. On the human ship Curiosity, Lieutenant Mara Lynn stood frozen. "What did it say?" Kenzo whispered. "I don't know," Mara replied. "But it said my voice was accepted." The crew gathered around. The strange ship still floated above them, unmoving. But now, it was clearly alive. Its surface glowed faint red. Some parts were changing shape like armor plates, folding and adjusting. Mara turned to her crew. "Get ready. We're going in." Kenzo's eyes widened. "You want to board it?" "We came here to explore the unknown," Mara said. It is waiting." They launched a small shuttle from Curiosity. As they got closer, the massive ship responded. A large panel opened silently, revealing an entrance tunnel. No airlocks. No defense systems. It simply opened as if inviting them in. They landed inside the ship's hangar bay. The moment Mara stepped out, soft white lights lit up, following her path. The air was breathable, warm, almost welcoming. No dust, no damage. The place felt untouched. "This isn't a ruin," Mara whispered. "This is a fortress." The walls were dark metal, smooth but covered in symbols no one could read. Every time Mara touched a panel, the ship responded. Doors opened.
Lights
Activated. Systems powered on. "It's like it knows me," she said. But the moment Genzo touched a wall, nothing happened. Only Mara, elsewhere in the galaxy. Panic spread fast. In the Galactic Union Security Council, screens showed the red glow. Of the Orion ship, an alien general shouted, "It's back online." Another added, "This cannot be allowed. That vessel is a relic from the ancient war, a weapon of extinction." "But it responded to a human, not one of ours," said a third. "Then destroy the human," the first replied, "before she unlocks the full ship." Back inside Orion, Mara reached what looked like a central control room. It was circular, with a large glowing sphere in the center. When she stepped closer, the ship spoke again. Command pattern recognized. Human voice. "DNA! Match. 92%. Kenzo frowned. 92%? Match to what? The sphere projected an image. A human, but older. Different. His uniform was black with silver lines. His face was tired but calm. He spoke. "To whoever finds this ship, if you are human, then some part of us survived. This vessel is Orion. Built to protect, built to wait, and it has waited for you." Mara stepped closer. "Who are you?" The recording continued. "You may not understand yet, but Earth is not the beginning. You are not the first." The lights pulsed. A deep humming filled the room. Systems rebooted. Primary functions online, awaiting command. Suddenly screens lit up. Mara saw maps of the galaxy marked with red zones, enemy fleets, ancient ruins. Some of the markings blinked with active signals. "This ship is tracking things the Union doesn't even know exist," Genzo whispered. Orion spoke again. Threat level rising. Galactic instability detected. Defensive systems armed. Mara raised her hands. "Wait, we're not here to fight." The ship paused. For the first time, it responded calmly. "Conflict is optional. But protection is protocol. You are my commander." Mara stared at the glowing core. "I didn't come here to command a weapon," she said. "I'm just a scout. Then you will need to choose. Scout or protector." Back on Curiosity, the remaining crew watched as distant ships approached on sensors. Unknown vessels incoming, one officer said. Not Union and not friendly. Back. Inside Orion, red alarms blinked. Hostile presence detected. Permission to engage? Mara clenched her jaw. Only warn them. No attack. Unless they shoot first. Command accepted. Activating deterrent systems. Outside the massive ship, invisible waves shot through space. The incoming vessels suddenly lost power. Their engines shut down, their weapons jammed. They floated helplessly in silence. One of the captains sent a message back to command. We tried to approach. It broke us, without firing a single shot. Genzo looked at Mara. Do you realize what this means? That ship listens to you? Trusts you? I didn't ask for this, Mara whispered. But maybe I was meant to find it. Final scene. In the dark control room, Orion displayed a final message. First connection complete. More signals detected. Similar technology. Dormant. Scattered. Across the stars, Mara stared at the stars on the map. If this is just one ship, she said, then what's still out there? The ship Orion floated quietly above the human vessel Curiosity. It no longer looked like a relic. It pulsed with energy. It felt alive. And at its center, Lieutenant Marlin stood, alone watching images from a war no one remembered, not even Earth. The control room glowed blue now. In the center, the large sphere showed moving pictures, old battles, dying stars, and ships that dwarfed planets. It was not fiction. This was history. Lost history. Mara stood frozen. What? What war was this? Orion's voice answered. Deep and calm. The final war lasted 900 years. All major galactic powers destroyed. My creators fell. Images flashed. A line of ships firing beams so bright they split moons. Worlds cracking under pressure. One, fleet black, silent. Cold surviving when all others fell. That was Orion, back on Curiosity. The crew watched from screens. Genzo sat pale, eyes wide. We've never seen technology like that. Never. Even Earth's best weapons don't match this. Commander Lise from Earth's main fleet called through video. What is that ship, Mara? Why is it answering to you? I don't know, she replied. But it knows us. It has records of humans, ancient ones. Inside Orion, Mara reached out and touched the glowing sphere. It reacted, showing a new message. DNA match to Orion's original command species. 92%. Lineage detected. You are not first. Mara frowned. Said that before? Not first. What does that mean? Orion responded. Humans existed before. In another form, another name. Long before your Earth's records began. More images appeared. Old humans. They looked like Mara's same eyes. Same structure, but their clothes were dark, their symbols unknown. They were space travelers. Warriors. Scientists. Some even stood beside Orion when it was first launched. They built you. They built many. I was the last. Mara's mind raced. Earth always believed they were newcomers. But now this. Ship was saying something else. Are you telling me humanity had a history before Earth? Yes. You were once rulers of light. Then erased. Forgotten. Meanwhile, in the Galactic Union, fear was rising. Admiral Krell of the Zarnok Empire shouted, It's begun again. The ship knows its purpose, and it's found a voice to command it. Others argued that human is just a scout. We can stop her, but deep down, they knew the truth. They had feared this moment for generations, the day Orion would wake and choose a side. And now it had chosen humanity. Back on the ship, Orion suddenly dimmed. Power drop, Mara asked. No, Orion said. A memory unlock. Warning. Hidden core accessed. The control sphere flashed red. New images appeared. This time, it wasn't just battles, it was betrayal. Mara saw one of the ancient humans, one who looked like a leader giving secret information to alien enemies. Who is that? She asked. Commander Veros, High General. He betrayed the Council. Tried to use Orion to control the galaxy? And did he succeed? No, I locked him out. But others tried to. Many wanted power. Only a few wanted peace. Mara looked away from the screen. And now I have the same choice. Kenzo's voice came through the cum. Mara, we've picked up something. A message. It's a broadcast Union fleet is sending warnings. They say you're holding alien tech illegally. It's calling you a threat. Mara smiled bitterly. So I speak to one ship, and suddenly I'm a galaxy-level danger. They're scared, Kenzo replied. That ship, Orion? It's not just a ship. It's a symbol of what? What humanity used to be, Orion. Turned its lights toward Mara again. Do you wish to continue? Mara nodded. Yes. Show me everything. If we were once part of something bigger, I want to know. The lights turned gold. Orion activated a deep core function, unlocking. Vault memory. Name, Project Resurrection. The ship showed one final recording. The same ancient man from before, his face older now, said, "We knew we might fall. So we created this ship. Orion is not just a weapon, it's a beacon. If any of us return, if any human voice reaches these halls again, Orion will guide them back. Back to who we were." The stars around the Orion ship looked quiet, but they weren't. Hidden inside that calm sky were 3 alien fleets moving fast. Weapons charged. They weren't here to talk. They were here to end whatever had just begun. Inside the ship, Lieutenant, Mara Lynn stood in the control room, her hands resting near the glowing sphere. She had a choice. 3 fleets inbound, said Genzo through the cum. 1 Zarnok, 1 Halvari, 1 unknown. They're moving in formation. Time until contact, Mara asked. 6 minutes. What? Mara looked at the ship around her. Orion had been silent for thousands of years. Now it was awake, alive, ready. But, ready for what? She turned to the sphere. We don't want to fight. Can we disable them without killing anyone? Orion's voice replied. Affirmative. Soft weapons prepared will disable without destruction. The 3 alien fleets approached carefully. Their captains were nervous. Target in sight, said the Zarnok commander. The Halvari captain, a cold-blooded species, hissed. That thing is a myth, a ghost. If the humans control it, they must be erased. The unknown fleet sent no message, no signal. Just weapons. It was built for war. Inside Orion, the walls shifted. New systems came online. Glowing lines of energy flowed. Through the floor. Heavy doors opened. Mechanical arms unfolded. Weapons? Tools? No one could tell. What is that? Kenzo asked. Mara didn't answer. Her eyes were fixed on the display. The alien ships were just minutes away. She took a deep breath. No killing. Just show them who we are. Orion pulsed once. Understood. Echo protocol active. The alien fleets locked weapons, and then everything changed in a single moment. Without a sound, Orion released an invisible wave. Across the battlefield, ships went dark. Engines failed. Lights flickered. Shields dropped. Missiles stopped mid-flight and fell like dead leaves. The aliens screamed in confusion. Their computers went offline. Their guns refused to fire. Back on Orion, the lights dimmed again. No attack, no destruction. It's just silence. Mara watched the scene unfold. How did you do that? Echo pulse. Frequency designed to interrupt all? Known tech, used in the final war, non-lethal, effective. Genzo's voice came through. They're dead in space, Mara, just floating. They can't even move. Mara didn't smile. They'll come back, she said. With stronger ships, we only bought time. Far away, Earth Command listened to the reports. She shut down. 3 fleets, one admiral said. With one move, another replied. They watched Mara's image on screen, standing inside a ship no human had ever entered before. She has control, said Commander Lease. And if she keeps it, humanity's place in the galaxy will change forever. Some were afraid, some were excited, but all of them agreed. She was no longer just a scout. Inside Orion, Mara walked through a long hallway. It was full of strange statues figures wearing armor, holding banners with symbols no one knew. They looked human? Are these real? Mara whispered. Memorial Hall, Orion replied. These were the first crew, heroes of the last stand. She stopped in front of one. It looked like her. Same eyes, same face. Underneath, a small line of text glowed. Commander Ilara Lin, last voice of Earthborn. Mara blinked. That's my family name. Bloodline detected. You are her descendant. Suddenly, the sphere glowed again. New signal detected, Orion said. A distress call from one of us. Mara turned. Another Orion ship? No, not Orion, but like me. Same code, same origin. Located in Sector Y12, dormant, waiting, show me. The map zoomed out. One point blinked on the edge of known space. If there's another ship like this, Ra whispered, then maybe we're not alone in this mission, Ryan responded. You were never alone. You were just late. In the deep dark of space, one of the silent alien ships slowly restarted. Their crew gasped as power returned, and on the edge of the galaxy, a second ancient vessel began to stir. Not because of Orion, but because it heard Mara's voice through the stars. Final scene. Mara stood at the front of Orion's bridge. She watched as stars passed by the window. Her hand touched the glowing map. She spoke softly. Take us there, Orion replied. Engaging jump. Let the echoes guide us. The ship vanished into hyperspace. The stars blurred outside Orion's main window as the ancient ship flew through hyperspace, inside the control room. Everything was quiet except for the soft hum of power. Lieutenant Mara Lin stood alone, staring at a glowing dot on the galaxy. Map. It pulsed slowly. A second ship, another ancient vessel, waiting. Orion spoke. Estimated arrival in 1 hour. Target. Vessel for 7X. Status. Dormant. Origin. Same creators. Mara turned. Is it like you? Older? Built for defense? Last active during the Siege of Seven Suns. Unknown condition. She took a deep breath. Can we wake it? The code still lives? Yes. Back in Orion's vault room, Mara and Kenzo examined a strange console one that had activated. After they found the second ship's location, what is this thing? Genzo asked. It wasn't working before, Mara said. But now it's showing symbols, like it unlocked. The console projected in image lines of strange language. Glowing blue. Slowly they shifted into readable English. Genetic key required. Human origin confirmed. Ancient command line active. Message began to play. Human voice. Mail.com. Deep. If you've found this message, then Orion has responded to your voice. That means the line was not broken. That means you are one of us. The ship you're approaching is Sentinel Arc. It holds something greater than weapons. It holds the code. Do not let it fall into the hands of the Union. Or worse. The message cut off. Genzo turned slowly. What's the code? Mara looked at the console. Something they left behind. Something worth hiding for thousands of years. Orion spoke. The code is not a weapon. It is a design, a blueprint for human rebirth. Rebirth? Mara asked. Do you mean like building more of us? Not just humans? But the world they once dreamed of? Their cities, their science, their future. As Orion dropped out of hyperspace, the second ship came into view. It was massive, 10 times larger than Orion, silent, covered in black metal plates. Some broken, some still glowing. It looked like a floating fortress, half ruin, half giant. Genzo whispered, That thing looks like a sleeping god, Orion announced. Vessel identified. Sentinel Arc. Hull damage. 36%. Power core inactive. AI system offline. Mara nodded. Let's wake it up. They took a shuttle and landed on the Sentinel Arc's surface. Hatch opened slowly like the ship. Felt them coming. Inside, it was dark, cold, silent, until Mara stepped in. Lights followed her steps. Doors opened. just like Orion did. But there was no voice, no greeting, only silence. Then a faint pulsing light guided them down a hallway toward the central core. At the core, they found a large sphere-like. Orion's butt cracked. Mara touched it. Nothing. She looked at Genzo. Help me connect Orion's data stream to this. They opened a channel between the ships. Orion began to transfer energy and code into the broken core. For a long time, nothing. Then, a flicker. The sphere glowed weakly. A voice broken and glitchy spoke. Sentinel, online, who? Commands. Leaned forward. Lieutenant Mara Lin, human, commander of Orion. The voice paused. Human. Voice confirmed. Genetic match. Code unlocked. Suddenly the sphere brightened. Walls lit up. And then blue energy poured from the core, forming a giant hologram. A map, not of stars, not of planets, but of designs. Skyscrapers, ships, machines, powered by starlight. Cities floating in space. Whole. Planets, built from nothing. Kenzo stared. What is this? Orion answered through the channel. This is the code. A full archive of our creator's vision. Not just memories, but instructions. This is what they wanted us to become. Mara felt her throat tighten. It's beautiful. But far away, and something else watched. A stealth probe hidden in the void sent a silent ping back to its masters. The Union had been tracking Orion since the day it woke. Now, they knew where Mara was and what she had found. Back inside the Sentinel Ark, Mara turned to Genzo. We have to protect this. If this gets out, the wrong hands will try to control it. What do? We don't run, Mara said. We gather the others. Genzo blinked. Others. Mara smiled faintly. We found one ship, then another. Who's to say there aren't more? The Sentinel Ark now floated beside Orion's, two ancient ships reborn after thousands of years of silence. Inside the Ark's core, blue energy pulsed through newly lit halls. Machines rebooted. Lights flickered to life. Data streamed between both vessels, but deep within the Ark, something else had activated, something buried, something sealed. Mara stood in the Ark's command chamber watching the glowing designs. Above her, city plans, energy cores, terraforming maps, and deep layers of code. This wasn't just a blueprint for technology. It was a blueprint for civilization. This is what they were building before the war, she whispered. A future, not just for humans, but for peace. Genzo shook his head in disbelief. How did they lose all this? Mara's eyes narrowed. They didn't lose it. They hid it. Till we returned. Suddenly a red light flashed across the console. Warning. Contained vault breached. Awakening protocol initiated. Orion's voice echoed from the channel. Alert. Ark's lower chamber has unlocked. Unknown system booting up. Mara turned to Genzo. Get your gear. We're checking it out. The lower chamber of the Ark was darker, older than the rest of the ship. Thick metal doors lined the walls. Each had strange symbols burned into them as Mara stepped forward. The lights behind her began to switch on. 1, then 2, then all the way to 12. 12 massive pods inside each pod. Humanoid figure. What are these? Kenzo asked, stunned. Ship responded with a voice unlike Orion's. This one was colder, deeper. These are the Sentinels. Created for one task only. Protect the code. Mara stepped closer to the first pod. The figure inside wore dark armor, and its eyes, though closed, seemed almost aware. The readout beside the pod blinked. Status. Cryosleep. Vital signs. Stable Commander Jean detected. Ready for awakening. Genzo stared at her. They're alive. Mara nodded. And they're human. Back on Orion, alarms suddenly activated. Multiple warp signals incoming. Union ships approaching. 15 minutes. Ada's come lit up. Commander Lisa's face appeared. Mara, she said, you need to stand down. You've entered restricted Union space with alien-class weapons. This is a threat to galactic stability. No, Mara said. I found the truth. You're just Afraid of it, Lisa's voice dropped. If you activate anything else in that ship, we will not hold back. Inside the Ark, Mara looked at the Sentinels. Can they fight? They are not weapons, the Ark replied. They are guardians. But only under command. She placed her hand on the first pod. It glowed. Command DNA accepted. Sentinel O, one awakening now. The pod hissed open. Cold steam filled the room. The figure stepped out, tall and strong, eyes glowing faint blue. He looked at Mara and kneeled. Commander, he said, in a deep, calm voice. I have waited long for you. Genzo stepped back. Okay, that's new. The Sentinel stood. I am Arkin, last of the first guard. I was created to protect the code and obey the true line. Mara stared. You know me? I know your blood. Your voice matches the line of Commander Alara Lin. Suddenly, Orion's voice returned. Union fleet now in weapons range. Charging cannons. Mara looked to Arkin. We don't want war. Can you stop them? Without killing? Arkin nodded. Then I shall disable, not destroy. Within seconds, the Sentinel took command of the Ark's systems. Energy beams hummed to life along its spine. The ship released a silent pulse, just like Orion had before. The Union ships lost power instantly. Every engine, every gun, dead in space. Commander Lee shouted through the cum. What did you do? Mara replied, voice calm. I didn't start a war, but I'm not going to let you bury the truth either. Inside the Ark, the remaining Sentinel pods began to glow. Arkin turned to Mara. The others are waking. Soon the guard will rise again. Genzo stepped beside her. So what now? We've got 2 ships, a galaxy watching us, and 12 ancient warriors. Mara smiled faintly. Now we find the rest. We build what they dreamed of. Orion spoke. Multiple dormant signals detected across the outer rim, all matching ancient fleet designs. Mara looked at the stars, then let's wake them. The galaxy wasn't quiet anymore. Across distant stars, signals were lighting up faint ancient pings, and all of them pointed to one thing. The old fleet was waking inside the command center of Orion. Lieutenant Marlin watched the glowing map. Blue dots blinked across space, each one an ancient ship long hidden, now responding to her voice. Behind her, the Sentinel Ark flew silently, and inside it, more of the armored guardians were waking one by one. The galaxy was starting to feel something it hadn't in centuries, fear. On the bridge of a Union battleship, Commander Lee stood with her officers, her face hard and unreadable. She watched the feet of Mara's ships moving through space. She's found another, an officer said, and more are coming online. How many? Lisa asked. Unknown. But if even half of them are real, she could build a fleet stronger than anything in the galaxy. Lee stayed silent. Then she gave the order. Send the message. All factions, all powers. The girl is no longer just a scout, she's a declaration. Back inside Orion, Mara leaned over the glowing sphere. Give me the closest target. Ancient. Vessel Solace detected, the ship replied. Location, edge of the Dorati expanse. Status, locked. Faint signal still active. Ginzo checked the star chart. That area is under Dorati control. They won't let us pass without a fight. We're not asking, Mara said. As they moved toward the next ship, a message went out across the galaxy. It was simple. To all species and star powers, do not assist the human vessel Orion. Do not approach the Sentinel Ark. All ancient technology must be reported to Union Command. Cooperation will be rewarded. Defiance will be punished. The galaxy reacted fast. Some races hid, some ran, but a few listened to Mara's story and quietly offered help. One such race was the Killerans, old allies of the first human empire. They had long memories. They sent a simple message to Mara. We remember your people. We owe them everything. The Dorati, however, did not send messages. They sent warships. As Orion approached the Dorati expanse, 6 enemy ships appeared. Mara stared at them through the main screen. They're blocking the path. Genzo frowned. They're not warning us. They're charging weapons. Inside the Ark, Arkin stepped forward. Do you want them removed? Mara shook her head. No killing. Not unless we're attacked first. Dorati fired first. Their blasts hit Orion's shields, harmless Mara sighed. I tried to be patient. She raised her hand. Send the warning. Orion and the Ark responded in perfect sync. A single bright pulse spread outward, just like before, but this one was stronger. The Dorati ships froze, weapons offline. Their captains shouted over emergency channels, but their systems wouldn't respond. Then Orion sent one final message across open space. This is not war. But if war comes, we remember how to end it. Across the galaxy, that warning was heard, and, feared after disabling the Dorati fleet, Orion continued on. Soon they reached the edge of the Dorati space. And there, buried in the rings of a shattered planet, was the vessel named Solus. It was beautiful, half covered in golden dust, its wings folded like ancient feathers, its hull still marked with the emblem of the first human command. Orion scanned. Systems minimal. AI core dormant. Activation code required. Mara stepped forward and spoke. Solace, this is Commander Mara Lin. Humanity has returned. The ship pulsed once, then again, then fully lit. A calm female voice echoed back. Command. Line accepted. Welcome home. Later, as the three ships flew side by side, Ryan, the Sentinel Ark, and Solace Genzo looked out into the stars. This isn't just about ships anymore, is it? Mara shook her head. No. This is about who we were, and who we're going to become again. Three ancient ships now flew in formation. Orion, the first to wake. Sentinel Ark, home of the Guardians. Solace, quiet and wise, behind them stars shimmered. Ahead of them, silence. A strange kind, the kind before storms. Lieutenant. Mara Lin stood in Orion's control room, staring at the final signal on the map, red dot blinking in deep space. It was far beyond any charted path. No patrols, no colonies, just the void. Orion's voice echoed calmly. Final vessel located. Name. Eclipse. Power level. Unstable. Status. Corrupted. Corrupted. Something woke. It before you. Back aboard the Sentinel Ark, Arkin stood with the other 11 Sentinels, all now awake, silent, watching Mara. This one may not be like the others, he warned. It may not accept you. I have to try, Mara said. It's part of the fleet. It might hold the last piece of the code. As they neared the signal, strange static filled their screens. Solace's AI spoke for the first time in warning. That signal is wrong, twisted. It wasn't meant to wake like this. Genzo checked the scans. Something else is controlling it. A virus? No. A mind at last. The ship appeared. Eclipsed, it looked nothing like the others. Its hull was sharp, torn, covered in black scars. Its lights flickered like dying stars. Parts of it seemed melted. It floated like a predator, silent and dangerous. Orion scanned it. Structure confirmed. But energy readings are unstable. AI response. Aggressive. Before Mara could speak, Clip's turn. It saw them, and it spoke not calmly, not kindly. A broken, growling voice came through the channel. You are late. They all died waiting for you. Mara stepped forward. This is Lieutenant Mara Lin. I carry your command line. Stand down. The voice hissed back. You are not. Her, you carry the voice but not the fire, Genzo whispered. It's rejecting you. No, Mara said. It's angry, but not lost. Suddenly, Eclipse's weapons charged. Massive cannons unfolded. Dark energy formed in their cores. Arkan raised his arm. Permission to fire? Mara hesitated. She had called this fleet together. Reawakened it. If she destroyed one of her own? No, she said. We save it. She opened a private channel to Eclipse. I know your pain, she said. You waited in silence. You watched the galaxy forget. I've seen what they did, but you're not alone anymore. The ship didn't respond. So she did something no one expected. She left Orion, took a shuttle, and flew toward Eclipse alone. Is she insane? Kenzo shouted. No, Orion replied. She is finishing what the first commanders began. Mara entered through a damaged hangar. Sparks flew, fires burned in the walls, the air was cold, the ship groaned like a wounded beast, but she walked forward and found it, the core, dark red, cracked, still beating. Eclipse, she said, placing her hand on the interface. You don't have to fight. You were made to protect, like the others. Pause, then a whisper. I remember them. I remember her. Suddenly light spread through the walls, the weapons powered down. Eclipse fell silent. Then the voice returned. Calmer now, command accepted. Welcome back, Commander. Outside, the fleet watched in silence. When Mara returned to Orion, Arkan saluted. You did what no one else could. Now for ancient ships flew through space, and behind them, something even greater formed. A signal. Not just data. A call sent by all 4 ships together. A message to any surviving ships. Eyes or outposts still buried in the void. Humanity has returned. The command line lives. It's time to come home. Far across the stars, old systems powered up in the ruins of a gas giant. A forgotten station lit again. Under the sands of a dead moon, a metal hand twitched, and on distant planets, people heard the call. Humans, half-humans, hidden survivors of the old empire.